Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's week 4 of the Monthly Mayhem Challenge, DeadBolt Edition. If you are not familiar with what we're doing, Josh from Harley Designs and I are taking stock SCX10II DeadBolts and trying to make them go as fast as possible. In previous weeks, we set a benchmark of 6 miles per hour. That is the stock speed of a axial deadbolt out of the box, which is, not fast for all intents and purposes. But as a crawler, that's a perfectly acceptable top speed. In week 2, I got the truck up to 12.1 miles per hour. And in week 3, 31.3. Now we're into week 4. And we are not talking about speed this week, so I cannot spoil it for you. There will be no spoilers. That's a joke I've already used. I'm already recycling jokes. Although I'm not sharing any top speeds this week, I will say there has been significant progress. There has also been a number of significant setbacks, which I will get into very shortly. It's been an interesting week. I've had to reevaluate some choices I made in earlier weeks, and the goal, of course, is to try to beat Josh's 60 mile per hour benchmark that he has set for himself. I hope that he hasn't gone any faster than that. There hasn't been much indication that he has. So there is still hope that I can get there. While I can't discuss what speed I've gotten to, I will say that Josh should be worried because I'm very close. Very close. But there's very little time left. So we must make some changes. This week I'm going to talk about everything that I've got planned for going into week 5 to try to get to that top speed and to beat Josh at his own game. Somebody said that I should paint Harley Resigns on the next sign, and I think that's a very funny idea. I might definitely have to do that. The workshop is a mess. I'll give you a quick shot of it. Please don't judge me. There's a lot of things going on in my head and a lot of changes being made on the fly and a lot of parts coming in every day. So keeping on top of my usually clean workshop has been very challenging. I can't wait for this to be over only so I can get everything cleaned up and get myself organized again, because this is seriously messing with my head and I don't like it. So only another week and we're done. Let me go through some of the things that we did between week 3 and week 4 to try to get to a new top speed. Thankfully, I found a new location in a under construction development. Not the cleanest of roads, unfortunately. There was a ton of debris, which made it infinitely harder to control. Did some other things mechanically to the truck that I thought were going to be an excellent change. First and foremost, direct drive. The intention here was to try to eliminate any reduction. The only reduction being, of course, in the rear axle, 3.75 to 1. I picked up a motor plate mount from an online RC drag racing store, which I thought was going to give me all the power I needed to get much beyond 60 miles per hour. But there are so many other factors at work. One of the wacky things that I tried, and I don't know why I thought this might be a good idea, but I mounted the motor on the underside of the skid plate. The motor was running basically a centimeter off the ground. Ultimately, though, having the motor mounted down low like that did make it susceptible to any debris that might have been on the track. So there were a few scratches incurred, no damage to the motor itself, but overall I think it's probably not the best place for it. So we're going to be looking at changing that going into the final week. Also, to try to get some added aerodynamics out of this brick of a body, I tried something a little unorthodox and something that maybe even would be skirting the rules a little bit. I found a nice 8th scale touring car body that I cut to fit around the DeadBolt body. Unfortunately, it acted much more like a parachute than it did the intended purpose of actually cutting through the air. It gulped up that air in copious amounts and created a very spectacular crash, which I will cut to now.
Whoa.
While that made for great television, it didn't do wonders for speed. And we're gonna have to create some sort of bottom plate for the truck, I think. Get some aero and some splitters up front and possibly a diffuser in the rear to try to smooth out that air underneath. And then maybe we can investigate something like that body again in week 5. As long as the air isn't getting underneath the body, we should be okay. While these hard belted GRP tires are holding up and doing a good job of getting some grip on the ground, I do unfortunately think that they are too short of a tire overall to give me the rollout that I'm looking for. You need bigger tires to get up to a higher speed, and that's just the nature of physics and dynamics. So to solve that small tire problem, I have got a set of larger tires. I'm not going to share them with you now. I'm trying to keep some things a secret until week 5 so I can really kind of sandbag Josh into thinking that he's already won this thing.
Oh, no. He thinks he's won. No. No, it's 1 lap to go. It's 1 lap of racing to go. No, he hasn't heard it. It's 1 lap of racing to go, and he thinks he's won the world title.
One thing I will share going into week 5, I have revised the front steering layout. I've gone to servo on axle. The servo on axle mount is made by UC Fab. I will put a link in the description below where you can get one for yourself. But this servo mount only works on the kit style axle. It will not mount directly to an RTR style axle. So make sure you have the right parts when you start construction of something like this. I will also be running a new Spectrum servo that just hit the market. My deepest thanks to Tom at Spectrum for sending me this servo prior to its release. I'm looking forward to putting it through its paces and seeing if it's one element that will help this truck go a little bit faster. AVC does seem to be working. I think it's almost maybe even working a little too much. So one of the things I'm definitely going to need to do is tune AVC, reduce its overall travel, and I think we'll be good there too. Because it's now a servo on axle, I've also 4-linked the front, and I've changed the whole front end, losing the battery tray, losing the servo mount, getting all that stuff out of there, trying to reduce the amount of top weight so I can put more weight down low. And because I think I've achieved everything that I can with 2-wheel drive, I am going to try 4-wheel drive. Josh has convinced me that it's probably a smarter way to go. Getting some of that traction to the front wheels is probably a good thing. So we'll see how that works out. I will be going back to the Exo center diff. I think that a little bit of gear reduction, especially with this 3800 kV motor, is a good thing. Getting that power down is important, and having full traction is definitely the most important thing. We've got a week to figure it all out. I'm looking forward to getting into week 5. And with that, I think we've reached the end. Not a very eventful week overall, but there are lots of parts on order, lots of parts coming in, and lots of changes to be made for week 5. I think you're going to see an entirely different looking DeadBolt for week 5. One that is certainly going to go very, very fast. I've found an excellent new location, lots of room to get up to speed, nice and clean pavement, nobody around, no obstructions. I think we've finally found the right mix of all the ingredients to make the perfect speed cake. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for Friday's vlog reaction to Josh's video for this week. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, which is over there. Of course, I answer every single comment. So please, if you have any suggestions or comments or encouragement, post it all down below. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.